Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to An English Haunting. And in the last episode, guys, our flashback with Sir Arthur Conan Doyle continued, and we were able to find an asylum where the professor is being kept. However, we cannot get through the gate. Now, if we head over here to the back wall, we were able to get this brick pulled out that we could use as a footstep to get over the wall. However, these glass shards are proving troublesome. Now, off camera, I walked around and tried to look at every little pixel, but I am not finding anything else that we can do. We can't even exit this area. So it might be best to go ahead and talk to the guard and see if all of our options have been used.
You again. What the devil do you want now?
I need to see a patient. It's urgent.
See that plaque to your right?
Yes?
Approach and read it.
Yes, I've read it before.
So what does it say?
No unannounced visits allowed.
Exactly. No exceptions will be made for you.
Well, how can I arrange a visit?
Write a letter to the director of the facility. Or wait until tomorrow morning and request an appointment with him.
And when will the director be able to see me?
In a week, I suppose. 3 days if it's urgent.
There's a person inside who shouldn't be confined.
That's what all the patients think. But of course, they're mad. Are you too?
Are you aware of Professor Nelson Ward's admission?
Professor? I have no record of any professor being admitted. But we have 3 Napoleons, 5 Neros, and 4 Jesuses.
Do you know I'm waiting for the police? They will handle the matter that has brought me here.
That's fine with me, sir. When the authorities arrive, I'll gladly open this door for them. But not for you. I don't know who you are.
You don't know who I am?
Enlighten me.
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Does that name ring a bell?
No, to be honest.
Sherlock Holmes?
Are you telling me you're Sherlock Holmes?
Hell no. I write the adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
Does the name Oliver Twist ring a bell?
Of course.
I could say I'm Charles Dickens. However, in keeping with this absurdity, I'll say I'm Oliver Twist himself.
Let me into the asylum. I am a doctor.
I thought you said you were a writer.
I am also a doctor. I studied medicine at the University of Edinburgh. Served as a ship's doctor and studied that word in Vienna. After that, I opened a private practice in London before focusing on writing. So I have the authority to enter this asylum.
You know what? I was a sailor on a schooner. That doesn't give me the right to demand entry to the SS Suvic. Anyway, this isn't a public hospital. The rules here are stricter, so please respect them.
Let me in. I'll catch pneumonia.
Well, I think I can fix that.
Finally. I thought you'd never come to your senses.
Here. Use this to protect yourself from the rain and go back the way you came.
That's better than nothing. What is it? A blanket. A thick and moth-eaten blanket. Hopefully enough to get us over the wall. Sometimes you gotta talk to people until there are no other options left. That's point and click 101.
Let's try. Good aim, Arthur. The blanket should protect me from the glass shards. I hope it's thick enough not to skewer myself on any glass. Right. Well, let's go. She's like, eh. Oh, he's trying all the foot and hand holds. Jesus Christ.
Who are you? You cannot be here.
Figuring out how to access the asylum lobby had cost me a great deal of back pain and an insipid cold. There was no way the nurse was going to let me visit the professor, and I didn't want to go through the ordeal of sneaking into the cells again. So I employed a weapon that Britons of my social standing knew very well. Arrogance. What's this about me not being able to be here, my good woman? And who do you mean, who am I? Ooh, good list here. I am Dr. Stewart.
Dr. Stewart?
Damn it. You refer to me as if you don't know me.
I've never seen you around here, Dr. Stewart.
That you've never... Well, I understand that you may have never noticed my presence in Blackstone. You are just a simple nurse.
I'm the head nurse, Doctor.
Details. I am here because a very serious mistake has been made. One of the patients must be discharged immediately. So tell me, in which cell Professor Nelson Ward is located, and I will apologize to him for this institution's incompetence. I changed my mind. Call the warden and tell him to bring Professor Ward before me. I will wait for him here. Come on. What are you standing there for? Move.
Excuse me, Dr. Stewart, but I've not been informed about this matter. You should know that nothing happens in Blackstone without Director Edwards' approval. So unfortunately, I cannot help you. In any case, if the guard lets you through, your credentials must be correct. Feel free to access any part of the facility. However, regarding this alleged error with one of the patients, I have to wait for confirmation from the director.
Well, where is the director? I will speak with him, and this matter will be resolved in minutes. By the way, tell me your name, and I will record what little help I have received from you.
Mrs. Hunt. I'm his right hand. And the director is not at Blackstone right now.
His right hand, eh? I know when I was facing defeat, and I realized that Mrs. Hunt was not going to give in. I could have waited for Sergeant Collins to show up, but by now he should have already arrived with the cavalry. There was an innocent man being held at Blackstone, and I didn't want him to spend another minute in one of those cells. Therefore, I had to rely on my wits once again to free him. Thank you for your time, Mrs. Hunt. Curses. Who let her been? Mr. Bentley? We've got a crack here that's probably going to be important. Hallways. Flower pot. The scent of roses is intoxicating. However, it fails to mask the smell of despair in this place. Henelt, one of the pioneers in the study of the mind. Most of his theories have been refuted, if not deemed outright erroneous. I don't know why his portrait hangs prominently in this lobby. According to the plaque, this is the director of the asylum, Nathaniel Edwards. The bronze shines splendidly. They must have polished it recently. Okay. Documents. These are the records of recent patient admissions. According to this document, Professor Ward is in cell number 31 in the third hallway of the West Wing. I'll take it. Wow. I accidentally spilled the ink onto the documents.
For goodness sake, Dr. Stewart. What have you done?
Let me fix it.
No, just stay away from there, please.
What a mess. Okay.
Do not touch anything.
Mrs. Hunt? Any more info we can get from you? Mrs. Hunt.
How can I assist you, Dr. Stewart?
They've made a mistake with Professor Ward.
You reckon?
Of course.
In that case, you should discuss it with Director Edwards.
Okay, getting more of the same here.
Yes?
Do you always sweep the same area? There's more lobby to sweep.
Are you saying the lobby is dirty?
Truth is, everything looks very clean.
I'm glad it's noticeable.
Well, I congratulate you on keeping this place so clean.
Oh, well, that's because Lady Ainsworth is coming to visit her daughter tomorrow. She was locked up in Blackstone for eating her music teacher, you know? Usually there's so much dust here that if a draft blew in, this place would look like downtown London on a foggy day. See the roses? Normally they're dry, withered, and full of worms.
Lady Ainsworth's daughter ate her music teacher.
I shouldn't say this, but in the end, it's what the rich will do to all of us if we don't take action.
But did she really eat her music teacher? Literally? Did Lady Ainsworth's daughter practice cannibalism?
I am not lying. She attended her classes with genuine interest and enthusiasm. And one day, while the poor wretch was playing Sonata for Piano No. 1 in F minor, Camilla Ainsworth hit him on the head and killed him. You've missed 3 notes, and you call yourself a teacher, the maids heard her scream. Then she cut off his hands with a 12th century sword hanging on the wall and dismembered him. She made a stew with his liver, heart, and those hands and missed the notes. She served the dish with a fine wine. While eating, the maids heard her humming Beethoven's sonata.
A tremendous story. I didn't know it. In fact, I don't recall reading it in the newspapers.
Lady Ainsworth wields a lot of power. She silenced the newspaper editors with her checkbook. She even managed to spare her daughter from execution when the crime was discovered. Although she couldn't prevent her from being admitted to Blackstone.
I gather Lady Ainsworth is someone important.
She's been the main benefactor of Blackstone since her daughter was admitted here. She usually donates large sums to the institution. Director Edwards always wants her to have a good impression of the center. Every time she comes, I have to clean the entire lobby. Floors, columns, picture frames. Everything has to be impeccable.
Carry on with your work. What about the crack here?
Don't take another step. There are spiders.
Spiders? Where?
In the crack. And big ones.
Really?
What do you intend to do with that? Let me take care of those monsters.
I don't think the gentleman wants that. I don't know. I think it could work. Alright, Mr. Bentley. Documents. Oh, the litter bin. I see the ink-stained paper that Mrs. Hunt threw inside. It's a Rorschach test. More than half of the inkwell's contents are now spilled on this document. The ink has not yet dried. Oh, my pocket is soaked with ink. I don't know why I still carry this around. Well, I'm sure we could use it for something. In the meantime, let's check the Hurry up, Warden. Open cell 31 and release the patient. A very serious mistake has been made.
What? How? What? Who the hell are you?
I am Sir... Dr. Stewart.
I've never seen you around here. Are you new?
Yes, I just started tonight.
Well then, you should know that these procedures require the consent of Head Nurse Hunt. And that said consent must be approved by Director Edwards.
Of course. Are you saying I should have broken the rules? The order came from Mrs. Hunt. I'm just here following her command.
You should also know that in such cases, I would receive the order from the Head Nurse Hunt in person.
She's busy right now. She told me you would understand.
Hierarchy is strictly followed here, Dr. Stewart. If Director Edwards were to hear of the slightest hint of lawlessness among his subordinates, he would throw us all out on our asses. Anyway, all the patients in this hallway are the responsibility of Dr. Hunter. You're not authorized to treat them. You seem a bit lost, Dr. Stewart. But don't worry. You'll gradually learn how Blackstone operates.
There's a key. We got a table. Blackstone layout. Ooh. I'm in hallway 3 of the West Wing. A lamp, a cup, a small box.
Ah yes, that cursed music box. Before the new patient, cell 31 was occupied by a guy who howled every night. It was unbearable. A relative brought that music box that plays Greensleeves because he claimed it calmed him down.
And did it?
Oh, it certainly did. At the cost of me having to wind up that infernal contraption all night. If I hear Greensleeves again, I swear to God I'll open up one of the cells and admit myself to this madhouse. You know what? Take it out of my sight. You'll be doing me a great favor.
A favor as big as releasing the patient from cell 31?
Not that big.
Alright. Interesting. The key. It seems to be the master key that opens all the cells.
What are you doing, Dr. Stewart? You are not authorized to open any cells.
I apologize.
You seem to enjoy Carmen.
Who?
A George Bizet's opera.
The one playing on the gramophone.
Ah, I thought you meant the daughter of the guy who brings the supplies.
Music box? Can we examine? When wound up, it plays the tune of Greensleeves. It can also serve as a jewelry box as it has enough space to store a necklace or bracelet inside.
Damn it. Don't ever do that again, alright?
Cast me off discourteously. Someone does not like this melody. Okay. Let's take a look at the clientele. Francis Cavendish, cell 30. The patient suffers from an uncommon but diagnosed allergy to sunlight, which has led him to believe he is an upia, vampire. Extremely dangerous. Do not open the cell without supervision from Dr. Catherall. Francis Cavendish, huh? Frank Cavendish. Nelson Ward, 31. Extreme obsessive disorder. The patient believes that a reality inhabited by the deceased surrounds us. His insistence on trying to prove it has already driven him to madness. Madness, I say. Confidential. Ooh. Man in the Iron Mask, perhaps. Matthew Lane, paranoid. He claims that arachnids have become conscious and want to dominate society. When the patient suffers a violent episode, it is very important not to enter the cell, but rather to try and calm the patient from outside.
Leave me alone. I'm safe from them here.
The cries are coming from this room. I see a young woman. Miss? Are you all right?
Please, sir. Help me. I'm being held against my will. I'm not crazy.
All right, calm down. Nobody wants to be trapped in a mental institution.
But there's nothing wrong with me. I'm healthy, and this place is not what it seems. It's run by depraved people who enjoy torturing the patients. Every day they take me out of this cell to put electrodes on my head and shock me at full power. That warden over there comes in at night to stub out his cigarettes on my hand.
I knew it. This place is rotten. Let me see your hand. I'm a doctor. I'll examine it.
Please be gentle. It hurts.
What the hell are you doing?
Open the fucking door. I'm hungry. I hardly ate anything here.
Jesus.
Have you tried human flesh, Doctor? Once you do, nothing else tastes like anything. All I want is to eat well. I'm not crazy. I'm not. Get me out of here.
Dr. Stewart! What the hell are you doing? Do you have any idea who's in that cell? Camilla Ainsworth. The next time you want to talk to her, try not to do anything as crazy as what you just did. Ooh. Talk to Camilla Ainsworth, okay. I see Professor Ward. Professor! It's Sir Arthur. I've come to get you out of here. He doesn't hear me. He seems lost in thought. Closed, obviously. I see a poor trembling soul curled up in one corner of the cell. Alright, so we've got ink stain, music box, umbrella. How to go about this? I cannot open the door with that. And even if I could, I wouldn't. Door needs a key to open. Does this look like a spider? Nope. So, maybe... Can we still talk? Don't worry, Professor Ward. I'll get you out of here. He doesn't hear me. Carmilla, I'm not going near that cell again.
They crawl into your brain through your ears, did you know? They control your mind. They're controlling all of us. But not me. They won't succeed. Greensleeves, buddy, greensleeves.
Well, everything seems pretty clear here. Can't do anything with the... If this was one of my stories, I'd dismiss that idea as absurd. Okay. So let's check the rest. Maybe we can get some new information. There was no other area to go, right? Nope. So maybe I need to do something to the flower pot. That makes no sense. What would Sherlock Holmes do in this situation? Definitely not that. See, I feel we need to, like, drop, like, a piece of paper. I regret this act of vandalism. But I must do it. Oh, I thought we were doing that to the flowers. Cool.
You again? I told you that. Wait, what the hell is that? I could have sworn everything was clean.
Okay. mess with the crack. The crack is full of spiders. By their size and color, I'd say they're specimens of Pardosis hyperboreus. I'd take a sample to have my friends at the Comparative Zoology Museum at Harvard confirm that I'd right. But I'm not going to touch them with my bare hands, let alone let them roam around in my pockets. Come here, little one. I've found you a new home. Do not be afraid. Right. You're doing great. I got you. Oh dear. Okay, is there anything? We don't need any more spiders. Well, good luck to you. Time for some more trauma. Gotta get this key. Come on, little one. Be free. Greensleeves. No! No, no! It's coming for me! You'll not be getting inside my brain! It's coming closer! Get me out of here, for Christ's sake! Help! Dr. Stewart! I'll handle it. I know what to do in this situation. Come in. There's nothing wrong, Mr. Lane. Remember Dr. Armitage's words. Let's try some of the exercises he suggested, shall we? Oh God, this is going to take a while. Well, ain't that a shame? Let's grab that key. Ah, Les Stringles de Sister that were masterfully sung by the great Eleonora de Cisneros. Can we go ahead and let you out? What could go wrong? This is not the door I want to open. Still talking? Still calming him down? Excellent. That's what I like to see. I do not know how long it'll take the warden to calm the patient. Now that I have the professor's cell door open, I think the most sensible thing to do is to return the key to its proper place. I don't want to risk it being missed. That's smart. Good idea, Arthur. Be cool, be calm, be fast. Why'd you close it? Professor. I guess it's unlocked. Professor! Ah, Sir Arthur! I've been calling you through the door. Couldn't you hear me? I'm sorry, I was mulling over the design of the Box of Revelations. I could increase the machine's power so its range is wider. But for that, I'd need the Scarlet Stone. The Scarlet Stone? I suppose that is what Professor Patrick Moore has gone to fetch in Scotland. What? Did you drag Patrick into this? How could you be so foolish? By the way, what are you doing here? What am I doing here? Rescuing you, damn it! Someone set a trap for you and locked you in this padded cell. Ah, well, everything makes sense now. This is Blackstone, and they only lock up the mad here. And I'm not mad. But they didn't believe me. So, as you say, someone set me up. Do you have any idea who it might have been? Patrick? No, Patrick wouldn't do that. Let me think. Give me half an hour. Wait a moment. Someone is coming. Do not say anything. They must not see me. What? How strange. I could swear I locked this cell. This poor wretch is so harmless that I guess I didn't even consider him. Take your time, sir. If you need me, I'll be by the hallway entrance door.
Henry! I regret to see you in this situation, Nelson. I could get you out of here, you know. I'm friends with the director of this facility. Ahem. What? Sir Arthur? What are you doing here?
You know what, Dean Carter? Before you came in, I was thinking of turning all of this into a Sherlock Holmes story. The Strand would have loved it. But you've ruined the climax of the investigation for me. You confessed your guilt without the intervention of the detective.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I suspected that Professor Ward's disappearance had to do with the donation my order made to the university. I had dealt with the professor before, and he doesn't fit the profile your university has made for him. Although you already knew that. So you also knew that the money was for the sole and exclusive use of Professor Ward here. Let me tell you the facts and how we all ended up here, in Blackstone.
Are you accusing me, Sir Arthur? I bet you don't have any evidence against me.
Thank you for confirming my suspicion with your statement.
What?
That mention of betting. In our conversation tonight at the university, you couldn't stop dropping phrases worthy of a gambling addict. I'd bet anything. She might have had an ace up your sleeve. You also got nervous when I asked if the professor had debts. You took it personally, as if the question had been directed at you. That made you my prime suspect. I think you have wagered a lot, and quite badly. You have not had much luck lately, have you? That's why when you found out that a significant amount had been bestowed anonymously to the university, you saw an opportunity to get your hands on it. But apparently, the professor was quicker than you.
Oh, yes, that. A few days ago, he confessed to me that he had debts of several £1,000s because of poker. Henry is the treasurer of my Department of Metapsychic Research, and he appeared very desperate during our conversation. So by withdrawing the money, I thought I might prevent him from committing an act he might regret. Did I do the right thing?
Desperation. That was the key. You just said you're friends with the director of Blackstone.
No, don't drag Edwards into this.
A great friendship that allows you to skip strict visiting hours, to gain the approval of the severe Mrs. Hunt, and to have a warden open cell doors like a hotel bellhop. You took advantage of that close bond to devise a plan to get Professor Ward into Blackstone. You tricked him to come here under the pretext that a certain metapsychic phenomena were occurring that the professor couldn't resist investigating. Once he arrived at his destination, according to the coachman, the director himself was waiting for him with 2 wardens. You waited a day for your victim to be immersed in the anguish and pessimism of being locked up in a place like this. And now you've come here to blackmail your friend. To sell his freedom for the money my order donated to this innocent gentleman. Tell me, were you and Director Edwards planning to split 50-50? Or would you have taken a higher percentage?
This is all a string of lies. For God's sake. Would you believe this far-fetched story from a writer undermining his own reputation with his defense of spiritualism?
Scotland Yard, for example. Ah, just in time, Sergeant Collins.
I told you to wait for us outside, Sir Arthur.
I'm sorry the weather wasn't cooperating.
Although I must congratulate you on your good work. Mr. Carter, you're under arrest for crimes of coercion and blackmail. This is an outrage. Mallory, issue a search warrant against Director Edwards. His accomplice will keep him company in a Pentonville cell, Dean Carter. You'll regret this, Sergeant. Mallory, add threatening authorities to the charges against Mr. Carter.
No, I didn't mean to... I have a question about this whole affair.
Yes, Professor Ward?
Can I keep this straitjacket? It's a bit uncomfortable, but I found it helps me think.
Toodaloo, toodaloo, toodaloo. I can't believe it. Henry was behind this entire affair?
As in any good mystery novel, the least obvious suspect turns out to be the primary instigator.
Very well, gentlemen. If we've finished with these trifling matters, shall we move on to the more pressing concerns? Thank you. We have here the Box of Revelations, an artifact of my own invention funded by Mr. Conan Doyle and his order.
Thanks to the preliminary work of my friends Patrick and Beatrice, and with a few adjustments, I can have the contraption operational by tonight. So, if you would allow me half an hour, we can proceed and test the machine's effectiveness at 34 Benwell Street. Their supernatural activity there is very high. Any questions?
What exactly does the Scarlet Stone do?
It serves as a source of unlimited energy. The sophisticated nature of the Box of Revelations demands substantial power. And it's curious that in the midst of Industrial Revolution, we had to look for a super battery in the past. Ironic, isn't it?
And are you certain it will work as intended?
Of course it will. The Herbans were the Da Vincis of their time. A civilization filled with Marconis, Berliners, and Lenores. Have faith, my friend. Have faith.
I've been investigating 34th Benwell Street.
Really?
I made contact with an entity.
Likely old Highmore, I presume. He was accused of the disappearance of several women from the East End. Unable to endure such infamy, he hanged himself from the basement beam. Were you able to engage in conversation with him?
Yes.
Two-way communication! Excellent! What did he say?
He practically kicked me out of his house.
That confirms our suspicion that ghosts are not benevolent entities. Have you taken notes, Sir Arthur? Precautions are necessary in that household. By the way, Mr. Conan Doyle will be accompanying us tonight.
Right now? I must change my attire. I've just returned from a lengthy journey and my clothes are soiled.
Oh, Patrick, always so meticulous. We're conducting an investigation, not attending a fashion show. Let's not deny science with trivial matters. So, if you'll allow me half an hour, we'll proceed and test the machine. The activity, as I said before, is very high. Any questions?
I believe we've covered this already.
Oh, really? Well, in that case, let's get moving.